Hello everybody and welcome to the second episode of 5 Minutes with Flaregames. I'm Nico.
And I'm Jonah.
And today it's going to be a very busy episode since we are going to be talking about several of our games.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be talking about Zombie Gunship Survival, Nonstop Chuck Norris, as well as Olympus Rising.
Sounds good. So without further ado, let's get started. May the 25th, ladies and gentlemen, save the date. That will be the day Zombie Gunship Survival goes live worldwide on both iOS and Android.
Yep, and speaking of Android, if you are in fact on Android, you can get a little something special.
Indeed.
Which is, you go to the App Store, you type in Zombie Gunship Survival, and you click on pre-register. And if you do that, you will get a notification when the game's out. And also you receive some bonus in-game loot, which is of course awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty handy. Talking about guns, we actually went live with update 0.7 a couple of weeks ago. So we revamped the workshop, we added weapon parts, so a new way of boosting weapons. We also added weapon rarities, so players can loot weapons that are common and legendary, and that basically changes the stats. And we also received a lot of feedback and suggestions from the community, and thank you very much for that.
Yep, player feedback always super helpful, always helps us drive the game in a good direction. And we want to give a little something back to our veteran players, so if you've been playing the game for a while now, you might want to check out social media and our forums, because there's a chance that you might be up for a loyalty reward, so keep your eyes open for that.
That's pretty exciting. So that's it for Zombie Gunship Survival. Save the date, May the 25th, that's actually next Thursday. So in the meantime, keep an eye on our Facebook pages and Twitter and YouTube, and I'm very excited for this day.
Yep, gonna be good.
So Nonstop Chuck Norris went live about a month ago on both iOS and Android, and most recently we went live with an update as well.
Yep, latest update introduced challenges. Challenges are essentially a game within a game. You kind of band together with other players as a group, you beat up bosses, and if you do well, you get a lot of loot, which is of course awesome.
Yeah, they do well, they are pros.
Well, obviously. And speaking of challenges, obviously that's not the only thing that we have planned for the game right now. There is a ton of stuff coming up. So we sat down with Simon, game lead for Nonstop Chuck Norris, to ask him what's next.
Yes, Simon, take it away.
My name is Simon. I'm the game lead for Nonstop Chuck Norris over here at Flaregames. And in the name of our team here at Flaregames, as well as our team at Sproing, our awesome co-development team, we want to thank you guys for that awesome launch that we just had. Yeah, and we want to use this opportunity to give you some information about the future releases that we have planned. Yeah, as you know, we released the challenges in the last update. It's an additional game mode to the game, and so far the player feedback is really good. People engage with it really well. It's a little bit more action-packed than your average gameplay, and you also have the chance to interact with other players, which makes it really interesting to some people apparently. We really want to focus on taking that feature one step farther in one of our next releases. So we plan to take Chuck Norris out of the real world and for these challenges into a new, more digital and even crazier environment. He'll potentially go to the digital side of the internet itself. He will meet all the zany, crazy, memey characters that he already met in the other environments, and even more of those.
Well, thanks Simon for that. In other news, Olympus Rising just turned 1 year old.
Yep, actually a little bit older than a year, but we're gonna call it a year.
Yeah, that's fine. And we also had an update not too long ago to add new divine blessings to units, improvements to Alliance Wars, and all the patch notes are on the forum, so don't forget to check it out if you want more information. We also have more to come to.
Yep, 1 year, obviously a pretty big thing for a game, so we have lots of new stuff planned. And to give you guys some insight, we kind of went over to the game team, grabbed one of the designers, put him in front of a camera, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, Chris, tell us everything.
So we added those new events, which cover the Odyssey, which is this ancient Greek epic poem, which was never really a part of Olympus Rising before, and we really wanted to do it. This is why we added new events, which are one part community events and one part in-game events. There will be two kinds of community events. One is an alliance event, where the whole alliance has to complete a certain task, and then, if they win, everyone from the alliance will be rewarded, and the other one is a bit more traditional, like the ones before. The in-game events thematically cover the different points in Odysseus' journey, beginning with the Trojan War, then all the extraordinary challenges he had to face, up until the point where he was finally able to return back home to Ithaca. And during those events, players will be able to have more powerful rewards in their chests than before. And also, there will be a new type of blessing which everyone will get for free, which will change the game a little bit, but those blessings will only be active during this time, only for this particular event. But most important, we want our players to be able to experience their own epic adventures. And this is why we've been working very hard on our new big feature, the Odyssey. The Odyssey is a new recurring event which takes place between Alliance Wars, and actually players were always wondering what this one unused building on Mount Olympus was supposed to be, and now they are finally able to use it, because they can every week embark on new adventures where they fight a series of PvE battles, so no PvP involved, and they can freely choose the difficulty of those battles, and depending on what difficulty they choose, they can get even better rewards. Best part is that people will be able to infinitely and permanently further increase the strength of the units, powers and defenses, which is particularly interesting for higher level players who have already upgraded everything to the maximum level. And there will be a way where players can compare their strength to the strength of their enemies, which are on the island map, by simply looking at them. And players will be able to gain new very powerful items on the Odyssey. And as a side note, the Odyssey is also a good way to level up new heroes, because you can freely choose the difficulty, so just lower the difficulty, use a hero which is not well equipped or leveled up yet, and complete the Odyssey, get new items, and everyone's happy.
Well, thank you, Chris.
Yep, thank you. So these are some of the games we're working on right now. And if now for obvious reasons you think, wow, that sounds great, I want to get in on that, we sat down with Team Talent about what it takes to work at Flaregames actually. And yeah.
Yeah, so let's hear what Catherine and Anya from Team Talent have to say about Flaregames.
My name is Katrin, I'm the HR manager here at Flaregames. Well, the strength at Flaregames I really think come from people who work here. We have great people, very smart people who come from all over the world to work in the gaming industry. They're very passionate for games and they want to develop great games. Currently we have 19 nations on board, which makes Flaregames a really unique place to work at. If you're interested, we have positions ranging from producing, designing, QA, marketing and also communicating with our fans. So if you're interested, just have a look on our webpage, contact us. We're always happy to hear from you if you're interested in gaming.
I'm Anja from HR. I started working at Flaregames 5 years ago, where we just released Brave Smart. And when you now see that we're releasing Zombie Gunship Survival, this is a big step we made. At Flaregames we are all passionate about games, and this is what connects us all and helps us to make the best games we can do.
If I could describe Flaregames in 3 words, it would be passion, smartness and fun.
If I could describe Flaregames in 3 words, actually I would add another one, so I'm gonna go for 4, which is great games and awesome people.
Well, thank you very much for this. That's it for this second episode of 5 Minutes with Flaregames. If you liked what you saw in this episode, don't forget to subscribe.
Yep, and if you're interested in any of the games in particular, make sure to follow our social media channels as well. We are pretty much everywhere.
So we also have the links in the description, so don't forget to check it out. That's it for this episode. See you next time.
Bye.